call me a star before BBC. Don't take a lot to get rid of me. Me and them no get the same. Me and them no get the same. For I die, they gonna know who the name is. They say I move like I'm nameless. Cause I only come for the money bags. And I don't really wanna be famous, man. You know what's stop. You know what's stop. You know pretend. Live in a lie. We don't be gang.
We going crazy, we at the top and we never gonna stop. Hop in a ghost, I'ma get Swayze. I just got off of the jet and I cry.
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we are in the Steel City at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kicker Chris Boswell has it ready to go, and we are underway from Pittsburgh. From the 6. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, happens in a game.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Dalton now to pass. Open man is Michael Thomas. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. There on the tackle, Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
On 2nd down, Ingram again. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
3rd down from the gun, Dalton. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was hoping for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs at their 25-yard line.
You're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll run again with Harris. And he is going to lose yardage here. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
Well, that's something that this defense is not going to be able to allow if they're going to have success here. They've got to be able to wrap up and get guys on the ground. They end up letting him get away, and it turns into a big play here early on. I can just see veteran observers of the game shaking their heads and talking about the dearth of tackling in the game today.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. It's complete to Watt. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Second down from the 8. They can get a first down by reaching the 5. Now a give. Running left is Harris. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
He's tackled at the 7-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up 3rd and 1.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out. Yeah,
absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. Throw left side complete. That's Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. He's one of the bigger receivers in the game, CD, and his size that time certainly helped against double coverage.
Yeah, you're still at a little bit of a disadvantage when you're going against multiple defenders when they're trying to double you and sometimes triple you. But you're exactly right. With his build, he could minimize that disadvantage, and he more than held his own and hauled that one in right there.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Kamara. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. They run. It's Kamara. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. I love those plays. 4th and 1, that's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
A gain of 3, second down. And Dalton to throw. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 25-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. That's out to the flat for Ingram. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Dalton here from the gun. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them off the scoreboard here.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Passing, it's Dalton. Quick one here, hauled in by Kamara. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. The final act of the first half. Dalton. That is caught. Traquan Smith. Touchdown Saints. A great effort there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. And he missed it. No good. This is going to remain a 2-point game after that one. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. As they begin their second half here, Charles, offensively, not where they want to be. Obviously, they're losing in this ball game, but very much within striking distance. We'll see what adjustments they make in the second half.
Is that the old glass half full, half empty type of a deal? Which way do you want to look at it? Because you're right, they're down on the scoreboard, but they're definitely opportunities now, because if they want to go ahead and get going in this one, get back to the running game. I think there are going to be some places to go with it, and I think the offensive line will appreciate the chance to fire out and hit people.
That's a good point because they virtually had nothing going in the ground game in that first half. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Johnson goes in motion left. Third and 2, Pickett. Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Cameron Jordan so tough to block as he gets in there to record the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Back to throw, Pickett. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
Brandon, what's even more impressive is that came against double coverage. He gashed them with that reception, even with the extra focus that he drew from the defense.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. And the play clock running down, so Mike Tomlin burns a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. They'll send Austin in motion right. Going for it on 4th down. Here's Pickett. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
So now following the roll of the dice, they've got a 1st and 10 inside the 35. 1st and 10. Here's Pickett. Completes this one to Pickens. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Slot man moves right. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From here, it would be a 45-yard field goal attempt, certainly in range, but they'll look for more yardage on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Pickett. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Johnson. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn: find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. The man in motion left here, Johnson. Pickett now on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Johnson goes in motion left. To throw on 2nd and 10. Pickett. And his throw is going to be incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Pickett. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. On the jet sweep, this is Johnson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. For the lead, here's 3rd and goal. Pickett back to throw. Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. 10 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Steelers answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, the bad news for them, they've seen that cushion they once had totally evaporate, and they're working from behind. The good news, they now have the opportunity to regain the lead right back. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Dalton now to pass. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Fair to say, it hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought up a punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. Now a 1st down carry for Harris. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. man in motion left here, Johnson. Here's Pickett. Steps away. He's got this to Pickens. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. George Pickens, 29 yards. And the Steelers get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need two of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Dalton. And his throw is incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Here's Dalton. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by a Keller Witherspoon. And the Steelers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
Taken down by Pete Werner.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want, and other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw complete there to Johnson.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column.
And that's a nice throw right there, and I'll tell you what I've seen in recent times and actually watched a presentation in the offseason from a college offensive coordinator that showed about 10 different drills that he runs with his quarterbacks to show them how to get out of the pocket, how to get comfortable when they're doing so, and to make plays under that type of duress. That's an example of what we're seeing in the colleges delivered to the NFL.
And that is no good. And this will stay a 12-point game.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
You're in the presence of the realest essence. I've been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cypress block, young buck holding it like we knew it all. Not afraid to do it all. Matter of fact, I look back and do it all. I can remember the haters say the game will ruin y'all. What's that to me? Don't give about a hater. Let them like the in my paper. They call me Big Dog riding with the hillbillies.
From the site that many call the loudest in the NFL, we are inside Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the New Orleans Saints and the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Kansas City. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of the tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Dalton. And he fires one, but incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
They'll try on 4th. Here's Dalton. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. On 1st down, Mahomes. Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
So 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Jerick McKinnon. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Chiefs are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a